Both crews are away in the Princess Grace Challenge Cup. The German crew, they've really got to be one of the crews to beat. Incredibly strong. You can see their power. Nottingham just having a few issues with their steering as they move over towards the centre of the course, but now correcting.
Nottingham know they've got to go quick at the start. They've got to try and hang on. They've got to hope they can pressure the Germans. This is basically the German under-23 crew, and we know that German women's sculling is usually one of the best in the world.
As we were speaking about before the lunch break, there are a number of under-23 crews, particularly here racing at this event, given that the under-23 World Championships are so late this year. They're actually after the Olympic Games in the last week of August, so a number of under-23 crews from around the globe are actually here competing. It's a great chance to face some fierce competition and have a really strong hit out in the lead up to those championships later in the year.
Absolutely, and as we see the under-23 standard rising and rising all the time at international level, as this German crew are showing us now, so they also want to step up and be on the stage of Henley Royal Regatta.
And how daunting would this be for the Nottingham crew, do you think, Kat, facing off against a representative crew from a country as strong as Germany in this event?
I think they'll look at it as a chance to test themselves against the best in the world, and who can't learn from that. And I think, you know, there's a lot of potential. There's some international experience even in this Nottingham club, and they're going to hold their heads up, do what they can, and learn from it. These are young girls with huge potential, and there's no shame in struggling to beat the German under-23s at this point.
Absolutely. It's one of the great things about this regatta that you do have club crews, university crews going up against national crews. It's such a melting pot of international sport. There's really not much like it. But we can see the umpire calling out to the crews, asking them to fix their course. I can only assume it is perhaps the German crew. It looks like they're adjusting their course there now as we ride on their stern.
They're looking so impressive. They're looking so impressive. You can see their trademark is, you know, absolute uniformity down the crew. The bodies are quite upright in the style. The blades are certainly parallel, and the catches are ruthless.
And we can see the stroke woman there, Michaela Stalberg, 71 kilos, 179 centimetres, 25 years of age. She was in Hasrode in the women's quad at the under-23 World Championships before. She's actually got an Australian rowing team visor on, quite interestingly. So a mark there of some international racing experience.
This whole event is a real growing event. It was they've actually increased the number of entries in it this year because of the sheer number and quality of women's quads around, and that is a great thing for women's rowing. It's a growing sport, women's rowing, and quad sculling at this level is on the increase, and that's fantastic to see that the quality of this event year on year is going up.
And it does require exceptional skill and strength to be competitive in this event. I raced this event back in 2011 for Australia, and I think we made it to the semis and got knocked out by the United States. But it's such a great event. I just remember, though, without a coxswain and being the one steering in the boat, how difficult a challenge that is. And it's really very different to racing on a buoyed course, where if you cross over the buoys, ideally you don't want that to be happening, obviously, but it's not quite as dangerous as if you go into one of those wooden booms that you can see that line either side of the course. So that is always in the back of your mind to want to stay out from those, and perhaps why we see in this instance both of those quads drifting towards the middle of the course. Now as the two boats are approaching Remenham, the Germans, Hannover and Crefelder crew from Germany, are in a comfortable lead, but they're working hard. They're not letting up as we come past that marker.
They're working hard because they're a class crew and they've got a high level of fitness, but they're also within a level of comfort. I think there's definitely more to come from them. I mean, it's a real masterclass in sculling, and who better than the Germans to display that, as they have at so many occasions at top Olympic level as well. It's a really uniform crew. There's a cohesion in the way the blades drive through the water, real precision in the timing. That's what they're good at, when they can get these quads at Olympic level and at under-23 level to really find fine speed. There's absolute cohesion, and you need that in a quad. You've got to be absolutely precise. The blades are much closer together than when you're rowing in a sweep oared row in an 8. And that cohesion is very clear to see. And the Nottingham girls, I mean, yes, they're behind, but there's a lot of talent in this crew. It's really important. We've got Katie Bartlett at bow, who won a silver and a bronze medal in the under-23 women's 8 last year. I mean, there is a lot of talent coming through. There's a real youngster at 2, Lucy Holgate, just 17. She rode in the J16 GB versus France match. So there's talent here, and they are sculling well. They're just lacking a little bit of the precision that the Germans have, but they are sculling well. It's a huge amount that they should be proud of.
Yeah, look, I think we're looking at a very talented German crew here, and certainly one of the quads to look out for at the Under-23 World Championships come the last week of August. In the bow seat, we have Frauke Hunderling, and she raced at the 2012 Junior World Championships in Plovdiv in the 4. She raced in 2013 at the Junior World Championships in Trakai in the quad, the Under-23 World Championships in 2014 in Varese, the Under-23s in 2015 in Plovdiv. So that gives you an idea of the pedigree of these athletes, to have that many international caps already. And she's competing, obviously, at the Under-23s later in the year. Very experienced rower. And that quad, I mean, they're just giving a masterclass now, I think, in quad rowing. They're looking very comfortable. That headwind is tough, though. We can see a little bit of just mistiming through the catches, particularly on that left-hand side. It's not slowing them down, but certainly as they progress through the rounds and face some of these bigger, stronger quads, you know, staying on top of that blade work, staying sharp, like you say, Kath, around the turns is so critical in the quad.
Yeah, they will have to make sure they're absolutely on their money, step it up each round, but it's very dominant. I mean, there will be girls in this German under-23 quad who may well be at the next Olympics winning medals. So, I mean, there's real talent here, and we're seeing beautiful technique alongside a high level of fitness, showing how the level of under-23 international rowing increases year on year.
And as the crews come up towards the enclosures now, we can see the German crew approaching the finishing line, the applause from the crowd. Very fine row from the Hannover and Crefelder clubs in Germany.
Clinical, relentless, they've done the job, they've rowed well, the technique is solid. They will definitely be going deep into this competition.
And great to see the Nottingham crew racing all the way down to the line. Tough ask coming up against a crew of this caliber. But in the Princess Grace Challenge Cup, it is the Hannover and Crefelder crew from Germany to take the win over Nottingham Rowing Club A. You see the Nottingham crew just crossing the line now.